Let's see, we should be live. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us this morning here on Friday. My name is Bobby Fleck. I'm the Director of Communications and Connections here at Ringgold United Methodist Church, joined by a special guest today. This is Sharon Harden. We're so glad to have Sharon with us today. Sharon is the Director of NCIC. If you are not familiar with NCIC, that stands for Nourishing Children in Catoosa. And today we wanted to share a mission moment with you to be able to share an update and some more information about what is going on with NCIC. Some things have changed this year, a little bit different, actually a lot of it different. I keep saying that, that's sort of like the obvious thing to say right now. NCIC is continuing their mission this year, and things are going to be a little bit different, but I wanted to bring Sharon and us have a conversation and kind of give you an update. So Sharon, what I'd love for you to do first is give us sort of a brief overview about NCIC, what it is, how it got started.
Nourishing Children in Catoosa started in 2010, so we're entering our 11th year of this mission. Nan Pinkston, who was a teacher, became aware of kids at Westside Elementary who were at risk for what we call food insecurity on the weekends. They got their cafeteria meals all week, but on the weekends she wasn't sure they were getting a nourishing meal. So she began the Weekend Sack Pack program at Westside in 2010 with one school. We're now serving 11 schools, and our numbers change from maybe 1,600 a few years ago to 1,300 last year. We serve 2 high schools, 1 middle school, and the rest are elementary schools in Ringgold, Fort Oglethorpe.
Yeah. So how does a kid become eligible for NCIC?
Children who are eligible for free or reduced lunch are automatically eligible for NCIC. We send a permission form home at the beginning of school in Spanish and English for the parent to agree that the children can bring these sacks home. We know that there are some children whose parents may not sign that, who need the food. Counselors have some discretion about giving out sacks to those children, like only a temporary need, but they can give a sack at their discretion. We don't audit their forms or anything like that, but we want the parents to be aware that the children are receiving the food and get permission when we can. Yeah,
that's great. I love when I first got here a little over 5 years ago and learned about what NCIC did. I've been drawn to it. It's a great thing. I love to be involved a little bit as much as I can here and there, and just, being a cheerleader if I can't always serve.
And we appreciate it.
So that's what I wanted to do, is just kind of, check in and really see how things are going this year, and encourage people to join up with NCIC. It's an incredible mission. Sharon, what attracted you to NCIC? How did you get connected?
Well, I was new to Ringgold, and I was new to the church. And I kept hearing NCIC, and I never knew what it meant. It took me a year or two to figure out what it meant. And then I thought, what a great idea, because I wasn't aware of the extent of food insecurity, even in a county like Catoosa. When we're giving out 1,600 sacks a week, that shows that there's a need for some supplemental food. We're not trying to feed people every day. This is a collaborative effort with schools, the Catoosa Family Collaborative. There are a lot of agencies involved in food distribution and help. We are a small part of that cog, but an essential part for these kids. And I thought, well, I'm not young. I'm not a young chicken anymore, but I can pack food in a sack. And the more I got involved, the more excited I was about being able to make this difference for these kids.
You mentioned the idea that it's a collaborative or a collaboration between all kinds of people. I know for us, we've got partners like Shaw that are involved. The United Way is an important part of it. Family Collaborative, and actually several of our schools and beta clubs and things like that. Service organizations. Are there any others that I'm missing?
Ringgold Telephone.
Ringgold Telephone Company.
Kiwanis supports us financially. the North Georgia Electric Cooperative with their Roundup program. Anybody who's a customer of North Georgia Electric Cooperative can do the Roundup, and that supports us financially because we get a grant from them.
That's great. So that's a little bit of sort of the history, or maybe the big picture of what NCIC is and what it's like. But what if somebody wants to get involved and we really want you to pay attention to this because things have changed a little bit this year. We've shifted some things because of the way students are in school this year. So I love the heart behind what NCIC has done. And I can remember contacting you probably a month ago, and I went, so what's it going to be like? We're like, I don't know, we'll see, right? But it was never, I don't think there was ever a thought of we weren't going to be able to.
That's right.
We were going to figure it out.
Right.
And I love that heart. So I appreciate you and so many of our leaders that we got to figure out a way to make this happen.
Right.
So what does that look like this year? What does serving look like?
We think it's going to look like that we are going to change when we pack. We're going to have to pack on Mondays this year, because some children will pick up their food on Tuesday afternoon if they're hybrid Monday-Tuesday kids. Some kids will pick up their sacks on Wednesday morning when they do a drive-through for virtual students that are 5-day virtual. And some kids will get their sacks on Friday, as usual, if they're Thursday, Friday, or 5-day in-person kids. So we have to have all of the food to all of the schools by Tuesday in order for all of this to happen.
Right.
So we're going to stage it all out on Sunday night at 7 o'clock. We set up tables, we bring the food in, we get it ready to pack, we get the bins ready. Then Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock, thereabouts, we start the lines. And there are so many tasks that have to be done to get this to work. We have to have people that actually are on the assembly line putting the items in the sacks. We have 7 items. And we try to run 4 lines, 1 on each side. We have people opening bags as quick as we can to put the things in. We have people picking up the cartons to recycle them. We have people who load the bins, and they have to count. You have to be able to count to at least 17 to pack bins, because otherwise our count is off.
Right.
And we have people who lift the bins into the trailers. We have people who clean up afterwards. So even if you can't come at 2 o'clock, say you can come at 3 o'clock, we're going to put you in a space on the line. If somebody had to leave, we're going to have you help with recycling, getting it all cleaned up. There is always a task to be done between 2 and 4, no matter when you get there.
Okay.
And you don't even have to sign up. You can just show up.
Okay, so that's important. That's
Yeah.
no sign-up sheet.
Nope.
We've got a lot of, once we kind of get into a rhythm, we have a
We
kind
hope.
of a feeling of who's going to be there and that sort of thing. But anybody can serve. Anybody
Yes.
can be a part of that. And what I mean is you don't have to be a member of our church.
Right. We have a lot of non-members. We even have Baptists coming.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Yeah, we've got other churches for sure. We've got other organizations that
Right.
come and pack or set up as well. People that are just from the community in general. So it really is open to any person that's that's able to
Right.
serve. What would be like? What does the age range look like?
We have kids who come with their parents or grandparents, and 6, 7 years old, and some of them are absolutely wonderful, and they help us pick up the stuff on the floor, and they bring stuff to us, and they get on the line on a chair and help pack the items. Kids can come if they're able to pay attention and work. And I think our oldest volunteer is probably 88 right now.
Yeah.
So we have every age range, and we have every physical ability. We have jobs you can sit down and do.
Like stapling, right?
We staple bags. If your hands work,
Yeah, absolutely.
you can staple bags and you can sit. You have to be on your feet to pack the line, but other jobs can be done sitting down. There's not a lot of heavy lifting unless you're able to heavy lift. The bins do get a little weighty, and we have a core of men and young people who help us with the bins, but If you can't lift, we're not going to ask you to lift.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that I love that variety, that skill level, ability level, really any and everyone that is willing to participate and able to participate can be a part of that physically. There may be some who are physically not able, or they're concerned about their health.
Right.
Kind of, considering the fact that we're, still trying to be careful with coronavirus and things like that. So if someone is not able to serve physically in person, what's a way that they could support?
Okay, and before I tell you that, I'd like to say we are definitely going to try to be safe this year with our packing. We're hoping that everybody will wear masks, that they're still required in the church. However, we understand that some people have difficulty wearing masks and doing physical work. We're encouraging breaks. If you need a breathe break, you step outside, take your mask off, let your breathing return a little bit to normal. We're going to have outside air coming in. We're going to have disinfecting cloths. We're going to have hand sanitizer. We're going to space people differently. But we don't want anybody to come if they don't feel safe doing it. Financial support is absolutely crucial. Our costs have gone up. Our support, we asked for extra money from United Way. They were not able to give it to us. They're not sure they're going to be able to even complete their pledge of what they did give us. We have wonderful individual financial supporters. And with food costs going up and with all the unknowns, we can always use donations. Easy to do. You can set up recurring donations through our webpage on ringgoldumc.org. You can make a one-time gift by mailing a check in to Post Office Box 99 in Ringgold. You can drop it in the offering baskets on Sunday and just put NCIC in the memo line. I try to acknowledge these gifts. Sometimes I don't get all the names for a month or two. But we are so grateful for our individual donors. We can't do without them, even though we have grants and others. About 30% of our funding comes from individuals or Sunday school classes or organizations like that.
What is, you mentioned the finances of this. What is sort of the cost per sack? Or I know we talk about that a lot. Sorry, on live TV, I got a little choked. So what, I know you know those numbers, but I think people would be interested to see that you track that, and we try to be really careful and diligent about that cost. So what does that look like?
We get most of our foods through the Chattanooga Food Bank. We do purchase some from Sam's, our peanut butter crackers and our gummies, because we can't get those regularly through the food bank. They're more expensive that way. 2 years ago, our cost per sack was about 67 cents per sack. And that was because of good food bank supplies. We were able to tap into the Georgia Nutritional Assistance Program. We're lucky. We get Georgia and Tennessee in this area. And they were able to subsidize some of our costs. Last year, the Georgia part of the supplies pretty much dried up, and our food cost doubled. We went from about 67 cents a sack to $1.21, I think it was, last year. The only thing that helped our budget was the schools closed, and we actually had less demand at the end of the year and didn't have to replenish the supplies as much. That was a terrible way to save on the budget, and we don't want to do that again. This year, we really don't know what our costs are going to be like yet. I'm expecting that $1.21 may go to $1.50. And right now, I don't project we'll have enough funds for that.
Right.
So I'll give an update toward Christmas time when we have a break, and I can really analyze what's happening. And we don't even know if the schools will still be open.
Right. Yeah, and there's a lot of faith and a lot of sort of taking it as it comes.
Flexibility.
Yeah, which is so important. I think in any kind of serving capacity, you've got to do that.
Yes.
And I know you guys do that all the time. Just kind of, we're going to be here. We're going to do what we can. We're going to do as we're going to give it all. you know,
Right.
as a part of that. So, yeah, we may be coming back to you in you know, a little bit of time and just saying, hey, here's an update again, here's where we're at, that sort of thing. But if you want to give, that's a good way to support as well. If you can't physically serve in person, there are ways to support this incredible outreach, even in the midst of where we are right now. Sharon, if anybody has any questions, maybe some detailed, specific kinds of things or concerns, what's a good way for them to reach you?
There's several ways. We do have a Facebook page, and you can send a message on that. I monitor that. I try to check it every day, but certainly every other day I'm checking to see if we've gotten any messages or requests or anything. We post weekly updates there. If we've had any changes or if we're starting at a different time. We have to work with the church schedule and the building use and the school schedules. We do have to make changes occasionally. So the Facebook page is one option. You can contact me personally. I'll give you my home phone, 423-488-8454. That's my cell phone. I don't always answer it if I don't recognize the number, so leave a message and I'll get back to you. The other two leaders are Pat Brinsfield and Susan Jackson. You can talk to us in person anytime you see us, even if it's at Ingalls or Publix or wherever you are. You can send a message to Karen at ringgoldumc.org or any of the staff at the church, and they'll forward it to me. I'm not on the staff, so you can't send me an email at church. Those are the main ways that you could get in touch, but certainly you can call me on my cell phone.
Excellent. Sharon, it's been great having a conversation with you today.
Thank you for getting the information out for us.
Yeah, we are. We're really excited as a church to be able to partner with NCIC and to support NCIC. I didn't mention that at the beginning, but NCIC is an important partner with us. We consider it a ministry of our church, but in a lot of ways it is separate. It has its own leadership structure and funding and those sort of things. But as a church, we host it. We very much involved with the execution of this program as well. So just wanted to clarify that for anyone that may be involved. And like I said, it is we encourage people from the community to be a part of this, and other churches maybe, or businesses, all kinds of ways to be a part of that. It's been great hanging out with you and getting to know some more. You're welcome. I'm excited about what NCIC is going to be this year, and trying to figure it out in the midst of where we find ourselves. Again, love that spirit and love that willingness to want to get it done and to continue the mission and outreach even in this time. So just to summarize, it starts this Sunday. NCIC, Nourishing Children in Catoosa, setup is this Sunday and every Sunday unless there's a change, but Sunday at 7 p.m. in our gym here at Ringgold United Methodist. Best way to get in, really the only way to get in at that time would be to come in on the Spark Street entrance, which if you've been in Ringgold for a long time, that was the main entrance for the church. But if you've been in Ringgold the last couple of years, that is, we call more like the back entrance. It's the same road that AT&T is on, or Ringgold High School if you go the other direction. So Spark Street, take a right if you're heading towards downtown, and come in that entrance, 7 p.m. on a Sunday, or that's for the setup, and then the packing is on Monday at 2 p.m., beginning at 2 p.m., and that's 2 to about 4.
Yeah, we're usually finished by 4.
Yeah, when it's all done, like all the cleanup, all the packing,
everything.
The loading of the trucks, those sort of things. Really open for any skill, any ability, any age, as long as parents or guardians are with the younger elementary aged kids. But I know my 7-year-olds have served before. They're 8 now,
great.
but I believe they served when they were 6 as well. So they opened the sacks and sat them up, or just picked up the trash on the floor. So they had a great time.
But we have a lot of fun too. It's not all work.
No,
we have a great group.
Yes, we do. We cut up and play on the line as we're packing. We can't play too much because our line boss will get on to us.
Susan's she's the boss, and you listen to Susan.
Yeah, but we do. We have a whole lot of fun. It's just such a wonderful and rewarding way to serve. So I want to encourage you to participate in that way if you can physically. If you can't, we'd encourage you to give. Just go to our website, ringgoldumc.org. ringgold.org. That's probably the simplest way, or you can write a check and mail it into the church as well, P.O. Box 99 here in Ringgold. But if you got any questions, contact Sharon. You can make a comment on this video as well. We'll see that and get it to Sharon. She'll probably see it as well. But we want to encourage you to be a part of NCIC. Thanks, and God bless you. Thanks for joining us. Sharon, thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, bye.